Xi Jinping's grand project is on life support. I'm talking about the BRI, or the Belt and Road Initiative. Another country has refused to sign up for it, and that too a fellow BRICS partner, Brazil. China tried hard to get President Lula da Silva on board. Last week, they hosted his advisors in Beijing. They tried to sell the grand BRI vision, but no luck. Brazil wants to keep its options open. It is okay with Chinese investments, but not binding agreements like the BRI. Listen to the President Lula's advisor.
The Chinese call it the Belt and Road, and they can give whatever names they want. But what matters is that there are projects that Brazil has defined as a priority, and that may or may not be accepted by Beijing.
It is a big setback for China because Brazil would have been a great addition. The biggest economy in South America, a country of more than 200 million people, a fellow BRICS member, and located right in the middle of America's backyard. China had everything mapped out. President Xi Jinping is traveling to Brazil next month. Chances are the BRI would have been a big headline. Xi's big success in Brazil, that's what they thought. But now he will return empty-handed. It's quite a U-turn for Lula too. Earlier this year, he was open to the idea of joining BRI. Chinese state media was thrilled about it. They wrote puff pieces about Lula's visionary policy. So what changed? Well, mainly two things. One, he was under pressure from the US. Last week, Joe Biden's trade representative visited Brazil. Her name is Catering. She cautioned Lula against joining BRI. She said Brazil should weigh the risks of such a decision. Of course, China was not happy about it. They called her remarks disrespectful. Nonetheless, they worked. Secondly, the BRI is not what it used to be. It started off with a bang in the last decade. More than $1 trillion invested, dozens of projects completed. It seemed like everyone wanted to sign up. But slowly, the true picture emerged. Most of the BRI deals were mired in secrecy. The projects turned into corruption scandals and the loans became a burden. When countries failed to repay, Beijing took its pound of flesh, like the Hambantota port in Sri Lanka. So the initial excitement disappeared. And the numbers reflect that. 35% of the BRI projects ended in controversy, like corruption or labor violations. More than 200 projects led to unsustainable debt. Even China realizes this. Look at their lending to Africa. In 2022, China gave less than $2 billion to Africa, their lowest in 10 years. So clearly the BRI is not paying off. Plus, China's economy is struggling. To give loans abroad, you need a strong domestic base. China does not have that anymore. It is also no longer the fastest growing major economy. All of this would have influenced Lula's decision. A, he doesn't want to antagonize the US, and B, he doesn't see any major benefits from the BRI. In many ways, this vindicates India's position. New Delhi never joined the BRI. We've constantly questioned China's intentions, whether it's on saddling countries with debt or undermining their sovereignty or the feasibility of these projects. And looks like the world is catching up. Last year, Italy decided to leave the BRI. Italy was the only G7 member to join China's project, but they had nothing to show for it. I guess Brazil does not want to repeat that mistake. The question then is, where does that leave the Belt and Road? In a spot of bother. The project is not dead by any means. They still have hundreds of active investments and loans, but the momentum is gone. Brazil's entry could have rejuvenated the BRI, but their refusal will have the opposite effect. It will add to the gloom around it. And it's not like China can throw money at the problem because their economy cannot bankroll it anymore. Politically, it's also a setback to China's goals in Latin America. This region is seen as America's backyard. But China has been trying to make inroads here, and sometimes with success. China is the biggest trading partner for many South American nations like Brazil, Peru, and Chile. They've also invested heavily in the region. But Brazil's decision shows that there is a long way to go. The US writ may have weakened there, but it has not disappeared.
Firstpost decodes the US election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.